When twin flame information no longer interests you and your soul mission begins. Hi everyone, I'm Agi and this is Reach Your Soul. Before we begin, if this message speaks to you and resonates with you, I would truly appreciate a like or a subscription. It helps me to grow with this channel and to support people who need this information, basically, because they are on the twin flame journey and they feel hopeless. This channel exists for this reason, exactly for that reason, to help those who know they are meant for something more, but don't always know how to take the next step, how to make it happen. And today I want to talk about a stage of the twin flame journey that doesn't get discussed nearly enough. And this stage is where something surprising begins to happen. You stop obsessively searching for twin flame information. You stop watching the videos or readings. You stop checking every synchronicity. You stop needing constant validation from outside that you are on the journey and you really met your twin flame. And for many people, it feels actually frightening because for years, the twin flame journey may have been at the center of everything. The information, the synchronicities, the signs, the interpretations. They give you maybe a kind of relief on the journey. And then one day you notice that you are simply not interested anymore. And not because the connection disappeared or something happened outside. And not because something or someone disappeared from your life. And not because you already live in an external union, but because you changed. Something in you is born. A deeper inner knowing, a quieter certainty, a stronger connection to yourself. But let's be honest, getting to this point requires an enormous amount of energy and inner work. Because before this stage, most people, including me, go through what feels like multiple deaths of the ego. You go through separations. You go through this push and pull stage and dynamic. One moment you feel too close, connected, and the next moment everything disappears, or you distance yourself. And one day you are convinced, the next day you are doubting everything. You experience hope, then disappointment, then hope again, and then surrender, then resistance. It's changing. That's called sometimes this oscillation. And often this cycle repeats many times during this journey. Our ego hates uncertainty. It wants guarantees. It wants timelines. It wants answers, the proof. It wants control. It can't surrender. And the twin flame journey really provides any of those things. Instead, it constantly asks you to surrender, to trust yourself, to trust in something what still cannot be seen, And this is incredibly uncomfortable for the ego. Then another phase appears when the connection may feel calmer. The chasing may have stopped. The emotional storms may have become less intense, less active. But now there is a different challenge. You still wait and wait and wait. Some more. And this is where many people get stuck. They don't even realize that they stuck. And not because they are doing something wrong or incorrectly, but because they are standing at the edge of transformation and they don't quite trust themselves enough to jump. The mind starts creating endless stories and questioning everything. What if the divine masculine comes back and I'm not available anymore? What if I start my business and they don't approve it? What if I follow my soul mission and they don't like who I become? What if I move forward and they never return? What if I develop something in myself they won't like? And what if I'm just supposed to wait a little bit more? What if I choose wrong? And suddenly your entire life becomes organized around imaginary future scenarios which don't exist at the moment. The interesting thing is that these questions often sound very, very deep, very spiritual, but underneath them is usually the fear of the unknown, the fear of disappointment, the fear is for taking full responsibility for your life, fear of discovering that maybe without this identity you've been in, you don't know who you will be. And because as long as you are waiting, you don't have to fully begin. Not your mission, not your transformation. As long as you are analyzing, long as you are watching the videos, as long as you do something else, you don't have to trust yourself. Because as long as you are waiting for another sign, another synchronicity, you don't have to make those decisions that your soul, towards your soul actually guiding you all the time. And this is one of the biggest turning points I see on this journey. The moment when someone realizes that this isn't about my twin flame anymore, or perhaps more accurately, it was never about them. It was always about me, who I can become. It was about my awakening, and it was about remembering my answers within myself and my power. And it was about learning to trust myself, my inner guide, and becoming the person my soul came here to be. And this is where the people basically find me, who already at the stage that they lose more energy keeping themselves in the stuck state than have more fear about the transformation. They just don't want to collect any signs anymore and watching all the synchronicities. They often come to me at this stage very tired. they have watched everything so far. They've read the books and the blogs and analyzed all the details, and they tried to go through this themselves. Years of waiting, years going in circles. And deep inside, they know that something has to be different, something has to change. I can't progress with this same pattern anymore. And not because they are giving up on the connection, or not because they are weak or anything like this, but because they are finally choosing themselves over the twin flame journey. And that's wonderful. They are ready to move and ready to grow, ready to stop putting everyone in front of them and their life actually on hold, ready to place themselves before everyone and even before the divine masculine. And ironically, this is often when the journey truly begins. One thing I witness again and again in my transformational coaching program is how quickly energy can shift once someone allows themselves to receive support. Not because I do something or I do the work for them, not at all, but because they stop carrying everything alone. They stop fighting themselves, and they stop trying to solve every challenge from the same level of consciousness that created actually where they were before. And suddenly things begin to move, sometimes much faster than they expected. And I see people releasing beliefs that have held them back for years. I see them letting go of relationships, patterns, and fears and identities that no longer serve them. And I see them making decisions, new decisions for themselves for the first time in their life. If you find yourself in this stage and you think that it is enough to being stuck where you don't belong anymore, you know where to find me. And trust your intuition. It's exactly where you are at the moment, where you need to be to experience, do I want to stay here or am I ready to move further? See you in the next video. Bye.